as the time goes on, man, because they have stories to tell that we'll never hear, and they can only tell. They are the only people that can tell these stories, man. So when you're talking about this, man, you have to talk about another guy. He is my number 8 person in the Supreme Court of Players, not in the Basketball Hall of Fame. And that player is Gus Williams. Gus Williams is a shooting guard. He's a combo guard. He's more like a Joe Dumars type. Gus Williams, 17.1 game, 2 total rebounds, 5.6 assists. He would be his days Joe Dumars. He's 6'2". The dude helped a team that shouldn't have won an NBA title, win an NBA title. This dude walked into the league, dropped 11 and a half points a game, then went to 9.3. He go from 9.3 points a game off the bench, mind you, to a whopping 18.1, 19.2, 22.1, then 23.4, 20 points a night, 18 points a night, 20 points a night. Then it started to tail off because he was at the tail end of his career. He played games. He won a championship with the 78-79 Seattle Supersonics, which is now the Oklahoma City Thunder. He was on the All-Rookie team in 1975. This dude played from 1975 until 1987, and I'll say 86, averaging double digits all but one of those seasons. Like I said, helped the Seattle Supersonics win their only title. This dude was electric when he hit the floor. And see, this is what I'm telling you guys. The stats only tell half the story. The stats give you an idea who this man was. But understand, Gus Williams struck fear in the eyes of people when he hit the court. When you look at the people who he's compared to, Joe Dumars, Darren Williams, Sam Cassell, Derek Harper, Walter Davis, Mookie Blaylock. If you know anything about the game of basketball, those dudes, when they step in the gym, you ain't think you had an easy night. People like Terrell Brandon, you ain't think oh man, it's gonna be a sweet night. You knew you had to bring your lunch, and when Gus Williams hit the floor, you had a problem. Gus Williams, downtown Freddie Brown, and the homie Hall of Famer, rest in peace, Dennis Johnson. I affectionately call him Spotty Pippen, but that's kind of disrespectful. But at the end of the day, man, the dude Gus Williams should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm tripping on it, and here Williams. Come on, what other reasons? The man of Williams, you gotta get in the Hall of Fame. But on the for real side, Gus Williams was a demon, a flat out demon in the NBA, and how he's not in the Hall of Fame is amazing. The next dude, the number 7 dude on my list, is a guy who played for the Milwaukee Bucks from the University of Arkansas. He is a 5-time All-Star, 5-time All-Defense, 5-time All-NBA, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. How do you have a resume like that and not make the NBA Hall of Fame? He was drafted in the first round, 5th pick overall, 1979 draft. Y'all know what the 79 draft looked like, right? He was the 5th player picked in 1979 draft. Y'all know some of the people who picked in 1979 draft? 1, Urban Magic Johnson. 1, Bill Cartwright. Sidney Moncrief. Vinnie Johnson. Y'all hear that, man? Y'all hear those names, man? Those are real deal names, man. Those are real deal people, man. And that's what I want y'all to understand. This dude showed and proved. He was drafted in that draft. He was drafted after Magic Johnson. Of course, if Magic Johnson ain't in that draft, he probably would have went first. I ain't gonna lie, because ain't no way in hell Sidney Green would have went in front of him. But you got this dude. For his career, he averaged 15.6 points a game, 4 total rebounds, 3.5 assists. Again, this dude was more of a combo guy. He's 6'3". He did it all. You talking about a dude walked in the door, 8.5 points, then 14, then 19.8, then 22.5, then 20.9, then 21.7, 20.2. Most people, and then he he was sidelined with an injury, and it tailed off. But his career was with the Atlanta Hawks and the Milwaukee Bucks. He started having knee issues, and that's what derailed his Hall of Fame career. I still think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame with the accolades that he had. 2-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year, 5 All-Star games. This dude was in the top 10 in NBA MVP voting at 81, 82 at 7, 82, 83 at 4. That means, look. He finished 4th in the league and league MVP. He finished 7th in the league MVP. Let me let you know who this dude is competing against. In 1981-82, he finished 2nd in the league to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 7th in the league. The people in the league at that point, the dude who won MVP. Y'all ready for this? The dude who won league MVP is one Moses Malone. The dude who was 2nd, one Larry Bird. The dude who was 3rd, one Julius Dr. J. Irvin. The dude who was 4th is one Robert Parrish. The dude who was 5th was Gus Williams, the aforementioned Gus Williams. The dude who was 6th was George the Iceman Gervin, Sidney Moncrief, Magic Johnson, Jack Sigma. These are Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. This is where he's finishing in MVP. The very next year, people. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. This is why L. Sid, that's what we used to call him back in the day, L. Sid. He finished 7th in the league MVP. The very next year, he finished 4th. Look at the 3 names that are in front of this dude. Again, with league MVP honors. Moses Malone, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Sidney Moncrief. The dude he beat out was the Doctor. Alice English, Buck Williams, Artis Gilmore, George Gervin, and again, top 10, as usual, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. These are the dudes who he's competing against for league MVP, and he's finishing in the top 10, people. Understand, how is it that you are in the top 5, you're in the top MVP thing 5 times in your career, top 10, with the lights. I'm going to just do the very next year. Again, he finished 8th. He finished in front of Moses Malone in 1983. 83-84. This is after Moses Malone won back-to-back years and won an NBA title. He beat out one of my guys. He beat out a lot of guys, man. One of my personal favorites, Mark Aquarian, Bill Laimbeer. People, Bill Laimbeer finished 12th in the league. Ricky Green, World Free, Marcus Johnson. The people who finished in front of him, Adrian Danley, Dr. J, Isaiah Thomas, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Bernard King, and Larry Joe Bird. Understand, when you are finishing in the top 10 in voting with league MVP with the likes of those players, how the hell are you not in the Hall of Fame? This dude was clutch. He'll hit every shot. He'll shut you down. As you see, Defensive Player of the Year 2 times. If okay. I just saw something crazy on the internet. Okay. So you are looking at a situation to whereas you got Sidney Moncrief killing the game, and he should be in the Basketball Hall of Fame because he's putting up Hall of Fame-esque numbers. It's not a lot of guys who's doing this. The next guy, a lot of you guys don't even know who this dude is. He's a 6'10" power forward. I think he should have rebounded a little better, but I still believe he's one of the more dominant power forwards in the league at the time. And you had a guy by the name of Tom Chambers. Tom Chambers walked in the door. Again, I think he could have rebounded a lot better. Just about 7 rebounds a game, 17.2 points, 17.6 points, 18.1 points, 21, 18, 23, 20, 25, 27, 19, and then it started to tail off at that point. You're looking at a situation where he finished the league again. He's finishing in the top 10 in the league MVP votes as well. And when you're looking at him finishing the top 10, he finished in the top 10 league MVP twice, 88 and 89 and 89 and 90. Again, he finished in the top 10 in the league when you got Magic Johnson finishing first, Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley, John Stockton, Kevin Johnson, who was his teammate, and Tom Chambers. The very next year, he was in the top 10 again. And those are the same type of players he was going up against. This dude was a dominant scorer. He wasn't big on defense, but let's be honest, man. There's a whole lot of dudes that are in the NBA that we can count the times that they guarded people. I do believe Tom Chambers is another dude who should be in the league MVP. Now, I just said this guy's name in the MVP voting. And this guy is one, I used to see this guy give Dr. J fits. This dude comes from University, UCLA. He has tradition, he has game. I saw this dude give Dr. J fits. He was part of the 1978 draft. This dude was a flat out demon. If you don't believe me, look at some of his numbers. Again, let's go to his numbers, the per game numbers. Walked in the door at 19 and a half, 10 rebounds a night, 19 points, and 19 and a half points, 10 and a half rebounds again, 10.6, 19.5, 10.6 rebounds, 25.6, 7.6 rebounds, 7.4 rebounds, 21.7, 6.8, 20.3, 6.1, 16 and a half. This is after the knee injury. 7 points, 7 rebounds, 21.4 points, 6 and a half rebounds, 20.7, and then his career started to tail off. Now, he had a neck injury that definitely killed his career, but when you look at guys like Marcus Johnson, I'm telling you, this dude used to give the great Dr. J fits. When I tell you he's a 5-time NBA All-Star, comeback player of the year, 5-time top 10 MVP voting, he walked in the door in 78, 79, finished in the top 10 with the rebounds, man. Now, look at the people that finished in front of him. Bill Walton, who I don't even believe needs to be in the Hall of Fame. But Bill Walton won league MVP that year. George, former teammate of his, George the Iceman Gervin, David the Skywalker Thompson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Walter Davis. Tied for the 6th is Maurice Lucas and Paul Westphal, Artist A-Train Gilmore, Truck Robinson, the Doctor, Bob Lanier, Bob McAdoo, and Marvin Webster, all tied for 10th. And Marcus Johnson is in that conversation as well. Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Marcus Johnson is being mentioned consistently. This is when he walked in the door. The next time, the 80-81 season, he was beat out by the Doctor, Larry Joe Bird, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Moses Malone, George Gervin, and there you go, Marcus Johnson. All of these guys who finished in front of him walked into the Hall of Fame. A dude who got in the Hall of Fame after him is Robert Parrish. Dennis Johnson is another dude. Nate Archibald, his former teammate in college, Jamal Wilkes finished 10th. When you are being mentioned in that type of company, you should be, because if you in the Hall of Fame, in the MVP conversation with the likes of these guys, you should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. If you're consistently putting up those numbers. His last time he was mentioned was 83-84. I think that was his last year with the Bucks. But look at some of the people who beat him out. Larry Bird, Bernard King, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Isaiah Thomas, the Doctor, A.D., a.k.a. Adrian Dantley, Sidney Moncrief, by the way, his teammate, Jeff Rulin, Moses Malone, Mark Aguirre, Bill Laimbeer, Ricky Green, World Free. For the World Be Free was a demon, and he was tied for 14th with Marcus Johnson. These are people who go down in history as some of the best players in the league history. He was a 5-time NBA. Oh, let me look at the All-Star. I want to make sure I get this right. Yeah, he was a 5-time NBA All-Star, 3-time All-NBA, 3-time All-NBA, and 1978-79 All-Rookie team. By the way, he finished in the top 10 in the MVP vote this rookie year. So when you're looking at guys like this, he plays small forward and shooting guard at 6'7". You know him. You've laughed at Marcus Johnson. People who, if you don't know who Marcus Johnson is, this is who Marcus Johnson is. If you ever watched the movie, white men can't jump. The dude who tells you, he loses to Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, and he said that's so